Welcome back everybody, hope you've had a lovely weekend, weather was great. But it's Monday morning again and it's just gone up past 7 and I'm already on my job because the people had to leave early for work. So this is a ceiling I've got to do and I thought it was bigger than this. You know, ever do that when you go and look at a job and sometimes when a room's full of furniture and you just sort of pop in your head in, you oversize things. I do anyway, I make things look probably worse than what they are. And then you turn up to the job and it's all cleared out for you. And it's like a pleasant surprise really. You think, oh, it wasn't so bad as I thought. It's fairly high, this one, but I'll turn you around and show you. So it's, I think this might be like a 2.8 or something, but it's not as big as I thought. I thought it was, for some reason, I thought it was about twice the size of this. But yeah, coving staying obviously, so that's a nice easy edge just to run up to. Got some quite heavy artex, that's the only thing. You've got this sloping bit under the stairs here, so yeah, the artex is fairly heavy. But I'll have a good scrape back and an SBR. I'll put a bit of Kirk's SBR on this, just so I can see where I've been really. Okay, so it's this ceiling. I've had a fireplace taken out, so there's a little wall repair. I don't know if that socket's going, I'm not sure there actually, I'll have to message him. So obviously that's got to be repaired. A couple of repairs there, but I am coming back to decorate this whole room. So it's not a problem if there's a little bit of repairing still to be done. So that'll probably be the week after next I'll be back in here because I think they've got to get some electrics done or something like that. So for today, it's just really that ceiling, that bit under there, and the worst of the repairs there. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to protect the floor. The floor is going at some point, but not yet. So obviously they've still got to live in here. So I'm going to protect it with some of this X-board. I quite like this. It's about 36 quid out of Toolstation, so it's not cheap, but it is good. But because that's cardboard, it's going to be fairly absorbent, so you're not going to be skidding about on, you know, loose PVA, loose plaster and stuff like that. So anyway, let's get that laid down first. This reminds me, years ago I used to be a roofer when I was a young lad. I learned how to do flat roofing, felt into the mop. Reminds me, yeah, we used to have a big bucket there with a mop, with a bitumen in it. Take the mop out, as you're sort of doing the, putting the bitumen down, roll the felt out. Feel like doing that. I might start being a roofer again as well, how about that? Okay, so we are all protected on the floor now. I'm hoping I can leave this here for the duration of the job because I've got to come back and decorate this at some point, but we'll see. Maybe they want their room back. But anyway, I've pulled out all the stops today with regards to getting up and down this ceiling. So I've brought my little bit of DIY scaffold with me. Just set half of it up with a board coming to the first hop up. And I've got another board to another hop up. And then over here, there's another hop up with a juicy banana on it. Anyway, enough about the banana. So, yeah, so I can sort of move that about and jump and chuck that from there to there. And sometimes I get to a point where I don't want to be up and down hop ups a million times. If I can stay on the ceiling, I will. And I won't use stilts anymore. I'm too old for that. I've got the work tool boots as well. I won't use them anymore because what happens with them work tool boots, as brilliant as they are, when them straps start to get a bit older and they start sort of losing their grip a bit, twice I've done it now where they've folded in on my ankles on each foot and I've gone down like Bambi. And lucky enough, I haven't broken my ankles, but that was like a warning, like don't use them again. But they're brilliant. I'm not knocking the product, but I think they sell replacement straps because I think that is something that can be a bit of a problem. They just don't grip as much as they used to. But anyway, so because I'm getting on a bit, I like to sort of keep myself safe. I prefer working on boards. I'm happy as Larry walking on boards, doesn't bother me at all. And I can sort of, I like to, when I'm trailing up the ceiling, I do like to walk the ceiling. I really sort of feel that that's the best way to go up and down the lines of the ceiling, you know, and really get it. I'll probably use a speed skim in here as well. Okay, so that's all had a coat of Kirky Boys SBR, and I'm going to give it a second one actually. So yeah, I'll give it another coat and then I'll come back to you once we're ready to start mixing and doing some spreading. We've got 2 coats on there now. Hopefully that's all picked up. It's been on for about half hour, so that should be dry enough. Today's trowel of choice is an 18-inch Marshalltown carbon steel. Not as big as Smurfs, but I've never had any complaints. So yeah, I'm going that way today. I've got that, and I've also got whatever this is, 3 foot speed skim, I think, 3 foot speed skim, just in case I want to quickly just give it a once over with that, with a pole. So right, let's get mixed up and get going. Okay, we're all set up now, ready to go. Got a good mix in this bucket, and the water's there. Little station all set up ready just to go. So let's get cracking with this.
Hanging on, walking tall. Some days I got no use for it all. Working hard, making less. Some days are bad, bad at best. Foolish notions, foolish lies. I set to thinking I could make something of me, playing every game except the lottery, serving everybody else and told myself I'm free. Misery is a showy state of bad company. Down to size. You came along and lifted me up. The going got tough, but the tough got some love. Foolish notions, foolish lies, foolish said goodbye.
So we're getting there, just starting to polish up now, and it's been a pig, this ceiling. Some of this was fairly deep really. I mean, the whole ceiling is sort of all over the place, so I've sort of flattened it out as much as I can. So the first coat went on, and then I had to basically give it, not a second coat, but almost a secondary first coat just to go again once that had picked up a bit, still knowing that it would need another one after that. So then I give it the full second coat, and then some of it even needed a third in places because it was still a bit up and down. So it's had quite a lot of gear on it. It's had, well, not too much really. It's had 2 bags basically. Yeah, it's had almost exactly 2 bags. But it's getting on that. It's about, I think it's just gone up last one. So I'm just polishing up. So it's nothing too major. So I'll polish up. I might put a bit of you on my head just to polish up. Just run along with like a Nella or maybe the old Ox Ultraflex. But that couch being here has been it's just stopped me in my tracks really, because I wanted to get in and out of here in a day. I haven't booked nothing in for tomorrow yet because I wasn't exactly sure what was expected, because I know that they was having a fireplace and TV bracket taken off the wall. So I've obviously got that to do. I've got that to do. And I wanted to chuck this on with the ceiling, because I've got this couch in the way. I couldn't really have the couch. I've already got one up on end over there, which is already a pain. And the last thing I wanted was that, you know, a second one somewhere up there being a pain. I suppose in theory it could have gone up there, but I just slid it under there. I wanted to get as much freedom of this ceiling as I could. I thought that this might pick up a bit quicker, so I would be maybe sort of by sort of 12 after 12, I'd be polishing, and then I could drag this over there and then chuck that on. So I'm in no rush really. I'll come back tomorrow, I think. Once I've all polished up here, it's going to be, what's the time now? Once I'm fully done, I reckon it's going to be up past 2. And as it's Monday, I'm not pushing myself too hard. I've just allowed an easy day tomorrow, to be honest. Look at the state of me. Now tomorrow, I'm going to go back to Andrew's and grout his tile. So what I can do, I can come here in the morning, knock this bit out here, get that all done, and hopefully I should be out of here then by, I don't know, I should be out of here by about midday-ish, and then I can fly over to Andrew's and spend a couple of days, no more, no thanks. I can spend a couple of hours around there just getting that grout done. Already got another job booked in Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, potentially Saturday. It's mad at the minute. I'm just eating through them as they come in, as you know, booking them in, just chomping through, get that next one done, next one done, next one done. There's no end in sight at the minute. Absolutely no end. But yeah, so I wasn't sure what was happening with this job today. I wasn't completely sure if it was going to be one day or 2, but my motivation's gone a little bit now. I think, do you know what, let's have 2 decent days instead of one long hard day. So just polishing up using the Nella, whatever you kind of call it. Nella Black, is it?
Surprise, surprise!
Anyway, quite a nice trail. This is why I like the boards, because then you can just get on them and walk down and back again. The paint on this coving is flaking. I don't know if you can see it there. It's a bit flaking Stevens. So as I've been trailing away from it, little bits have been getting in and pulling in epoxy lines, you know, them really annoying little silly lines that come in. So try not to go right into the edge of the coving now. That's it. Don't want to keep pulling it out. Do you ever get that when you're doing ceilings? You find there's areas that just by the pattern that you move around the room in, you just neglect a certain area. And every time you go to it, you think, oh, I must spend a bit more time on that area. And then you don't, and then you end up with this. Anyway, it's no drama. It can all be sorted out. Just run along it later on with a little scrapey doodah. But anyway, let's get this polished up. this multi started tearing. It's doing weird things again. Got to a point where I had the second coat on, you know, even partially some of the third coat, and it was all lovely, it was all looking good, and then you start trailing it and it just wanted to start tearing. Even if I changed trails to like a less harsher trail than a solid carbon, and it was still pulling. You sort of get to a point where you're doing all that hard work. I need to go around them a bit more. You're doing all that hard work and then it starts tearing, and it's just undone everything you've done. Very frustrating. But it always comes back, and I've been using the squeezy bottle today. I didn't want to be up here flicking water with a brush, so nice and controlled with a little squeezy bottle. Especially when it starts tearing, you just need a bit more water in it, but you don't want to absolutely soak it. You don't want to start getting all like fat stains everywhere, so just a little squirt before you trail, and it will get there in the end. Don't panic with it. You know, this is nearly polished now, it's polishing stage, but I can still put a bit of water on it and just bring it up again. It's not a problem. They look like divots, but they're not, they're flat. So there we are, that's that all done and dusted. It's come out alright, quite pleased with that. Cleaned all the coving up, give it a wipe down. Got all the crud off of it. I'll patch these two bits in tomorrow, that bit and that bit on the wall. Get this bit under the stairs done, and while I was there I peeled off all that crappy bloody dry lining tape. That's so rubbish, that stuff. Look, it was all bubbling out, so I've ripped all that off. So I'll get that all sorted out tomorrow and get that little one buttoned in until they're ready for me to come back and decorate. Well, that took a lot longer than I thought. It is now just before 3 o'clock. I've just left there 5 minutes ago. I've done myself up there really, putting 2 coats of that SBR on. It really held it back. It held it back a bit too long, if I'm honest. Could have just probably left the one on. But it was alright, it made it quite comfortable to skim. Yeah, it was quite a high net ceiling. It would have been awkward off just normal size hop-ups. It would have been a bit of a stretch, if I'm honest. And that's when you start hurting your back, when you're overstretching. So having that other hop up and that bit of scaffold was perfect really. So anyway, I'm back home now. I'm just editing this video down, try and get this out tonight. So thanks for watching. Tomorrow I shall be back there just to finish them little bits, and then I'm going back to Andrew's house to grout them green tiles. And what I'm going to do, I've just got white grout. I bought white for that job. I'm not going to start mucking about looking for greens. I know he wants green, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a bit of food colouring and I'm going to add it to the white grout and try and get it almost exactly to what them tiles were, because they're not going to be under any water. There's no shower going to run down them tiles. It's just literally going to have a freestanding bath, and it's just a look. So without me spending ages hunting for that exact green colour, I'll make it myself. So I'll see you tomorrow for some of that. And thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. Have a lovely evening everybody, and I'll see you back at that job tomorrow for 7:15 in the morning. Well, I'll be there then anyway. See you later.